Well, hey fellas, it's Thorzax here, and as you can see, I got the Magma machine out today, and what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the slag and also, well, not the slag, but the reject shot that I got from the earlier shot making that I did, and I'm melting that down. That gives a really even base. So when I do start adding the lead to the melt, it won't take as long to go ahead and melt those down. Those right there are about 2 pounds a piece. That's pretty much it. We're just waiting for it to get going. Once it starts going, we'll go ahead and we'll get back to filming here. But as you can see, we've got our coolant. We have our overflow tank. Okay, what will happen is that the shot will start filling up this tank right here that catches the shot, and then it will start the extra coolant will go into this tank over here. And after a while, what you need to do is you need to take the coolant that's in there that's cool, because this is going to warm up, and you need to take that coolant that has came out and put it back in there to bring the coolant level down again. You'll notice that your shot will start taking on kind of like a different look to it when it gets too hot. You can't have that more than 110 degrees. So we've got this going. We're melting down right now. We're going to get things going, and we'll be right back, okay? Okay, fellas, we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of zoom in a little bit here, and I want to show you what's going on with this thing now. As you can see, what we're getting right now is we're getting popcorn shrimp. Popcorn kernels coming out of there. And that's because the material is too cold, and it still needs to warm up quite a bit. So all of this will be reject. This will all be stuff that we're going to throw back in and melt it down later. But as it warms up and gets hot, those will get really small. Those will get down to the number 8 size shot that we want. So when that starts dribbling real good, we'll tune back in. I just wanted to show you what's going on here. This is the very first thing that starts happening when you start making your shot. You'll get this popcorn shot that comes out like this, and it's oblong, and it's no good for shooting. Okay, fellas, there it is. She's making a shot. Now I only have 3 of those tippets going right now. It came with 7. I only put 3 of them in there just as a trial run because I was just getting used to making the shot first. So anyway, this is about it. As you can see, they run off and they hit the little ledge, and then they fall into the coolant, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, once she starts going like that, that's pretty much it. You got to have a knocker every once in a while. Sometimes it'll start to slow down. So what I use is I just use this. Just give it a couple of taps like that, and it speeds right back up. And that's it. That's all you guys got to do, man. And you can make as much shot as you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make about 100 pounds today. So I started off early. And we'll just get this ball rolling, okay? So we'll be back. Well, guys, as you can see, we got it going pretty good right now. This is pretty much it, man. This is like, you got to reach over and you got to tap it, and that just kind of frees up the crap that gets in the, that gets in the orifices and gets it going again. I think what happens is that the steel of the actual drippers, okay, gets to a different temperature, which is cooler than the aluminum. The aluminum is actually hotter, and what happens is that you get this lining of lead that kind of forms inside the orifices. And so what you need to do is you need to knock it every once in a while. And what that does is that breaks that loose and gets it melted again, so it'll come out through the orifices. That's just it. If I had all 7 of these things going, man, it'd be just like, you know, screaming demons, dude. But I only got the 3 for right now. This is just kind of a demonstration going on. I'll show you a little sample of the shot here. Let me go ahead and get my little screen here. Stick my little screen down in there. We'll catch some of that shot and we'll take it out and we'll take a look at it. Now, granted, you know, this shot is not perfect, okay? When it comes out of those things, you might have ones that are, you know, formed sort of, you know, egg shaped, some of them that are bigger than others, you know, and that sort of thing. And that's what the screening process is all about. That's what you have to screen out. Let's take a look at what we've made so far here. There you go. Huh? See how it's got that piece of crap in there? That'll come out in the screening, but you know, it's pretty good, guys. I mean, you know, look at that. You know, there's a couple of flat pieces in there, but that'll come out during the screening. So I'm not too concerned about that. That's no biggie. All part of the game, man. You know, and here's another thing too that I've been thinking about as well. Okay, I've been reading a lot of forums and stuff about people making their own shot, and I don't know if I have a theory. I don't know if you can call it a theory, but my thing is that when you fire the round, okay, even though the lead has a certain amount of hardness to it, because, you know, it's got antimony and tin in it, you know, this is wheel weight material. What happens is that you have the same effect as though you were firing a bullet in a chamber, and you get obtration. What happens is the little round pellets, they flatten out a little bit, but then they go through something else that a lot of people don't take in consideration. It goes through your choke, okay? So a lot of these people are saying, well, I never use, you know, reclaimed shot, and I never use homemade shot because it's not round. Okay, do you think that it's round when you fire it? Do you think it's round when it goes through your choke? You know, I mean, those are things that you have to take in consideration. And as long as you inspect, you know, your shot here and make sure that you screen it right and that it's all about the same size, I don't see what the difference is. You just can't show me what the difference is between round shot and homemade shot like this. I don't really think that there is a big difference. We'll find out. You know, so far, all I've been doing is going out and shooting 16-yard, you know, trap. And at my club, of course, you know, they want to be good neighbors and all that, so they got the target thrower, you know, set pretty low. You got to be hot on the stick if you want to hit them. I mean, you know, yeah, you got to be hot on the stick, man. But, you know, that's all part of the game, too. You know, it can be a lot of fun, but shotgunning is not cheap. By any means, if you go out there and you try to support, you know, going out and doing shooting sports with shotguns, and you're just paying for this stuff, man, it's expensive. This machine, after all of this is made, this machine has paid for itself. I will be getting nothing but free shot out of this thing after this. You know, you know, because I didn't have to pay for this this lead. This is all reclaimed lead that I got from the range, and I melted it down in a muffin pan, and those are about 2 pounds a piece. So we'll make about 100 pounds today. Anyway, there it is. Be back soon. Well, hey guys, this is just a little close-up of what we got here. We've been going now for probably about, I don't know, an hour. This is just a little small sample of a couple of baskets that I put down inside there, you know, to catch the shot. The rest of it is down there in the bottom of the catch can. So this is what we got. You know, as you can see, you know, I mean, this hasn't been screened yet. You know, I have a sieve that I put it through that'll separate all the bigger pieces from the little pieces, and it'll get all the crap out. But as you can see, you know, this stuff here, it's perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with this. This is a beautiful shot, and I'm making this stuff pennies on the dollar compared to, you know, compared to going out and buying it. In fact, once I'm done with this 100 pounds that I'm making right now, the machine is paid for itself. I mean, I know that it seems like a lot of money to put out at first, but if you don't have a shot maker, you're stuck buying it, you know. And so, you know, I don't know about you, but I ain't paying 50 bucks a bag for shot. And even reclaim, you know, shot is like $37. So, you know, I'm doing this to even, you know, I'm doing this to beat the price of reclaim shot. So I don't see how you can go wrong with this. I mean, this works great. You take a Saturday afternoon, you get your coffee, you have your coffee, you come out and set up the machine, you get the machine going, and you know, just make some shot. I mean, it's easy, dude. I mean, this is just real simple. So anyway, give it a little close up. A little close up with a shot there. And as you can see, some of those little pieces are a little bigger than others, but it's all turning out good. I mean, this is good shot. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you know. So I've got my work cut out for me. Later on, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get the video on after I'm done and get all cleaned up. I have to clean the tank out, and I have to go ahead and wash the shot really good and get it all, you know, copacetic, and then get it out of here on the drying screen and get it dried out. Now this is going to take a couple of days to dry. I'm going to go ahead and take my air compressor and kind of blow it down a little bit, but you really want this stuff dry before you tumble it in your cement mixer, and then you go ahead and graphite it. So there you go. We'll be going into that too. So anyway, this is Thorzak's, and we'll be right back. Well, guys, as you can see, I got about that can is about a quarter or a third of the way full already of shot, and there is some popcorn shot in there, but that'll come out, you know, that'll come out in the sieve. That's no big deal. But once you get this thing warmed up and it's regulating and it's doing its thing, it just goes and goes and goes. Man, this thing will make shot all day long. You know, I checked the temperature on the coolant, and we're right at about, you know, about 100 degrees. So we're doing pretty good there. One thing that you have to do to the coolant is that you have to get a real fine mesh screen, real fine, and pour the coolant through there, because little bits of slag gets suspended in it, and it gets thicker and it gets all over your shot. So you have to screen your coolant every once in a while. I found that out too. Now, it might sound like a lot of work, but it really isn't. You just do it when you go to clean up. You know, say like you're done for the day and you want to clean up. Just pour it down through the sieve. You know, that's no big deal. And then catch it in a bucket like I've got. You know, that pan there, and then just go ahead and put it right back in the containers that you get the antifreeze in, and store it. I mean, you know, it's perfectly good. You're not going to wear it out. So there you go. This is what we're doing. Well, I'll tell you what, if I had all 7 of those tippets in there, man, we'd just be making shot like crazy right now. I'm going to do that probably in the next time I go ahead and make shot. I'm going to have all 7 of them in there and see what it'll do. So anyway, this is Thorzak's. We'll check back in a little bit later. Well, hey guys, it's Thorzak's here, and looks like we're getting pretty near the end. and right now I've probably made maybe 130 pounds of shot, and it's all there in the bucket right there, as you can see, in that ammo can. So the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the antifreeze, pour it off into the collection tank down below. Once I get that all separated, then I'll go ahead and I'll take the garden hose and I'll wash off all the shot. And the next step will be the screening, and we'll go ahead and we'll do that. So you guys don't really need to watch the washing of the shot and all that other stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much self-explanatory. You just put it in a sieve and you just go ahead and wash it down. And you just keep washing it down until it doesn't produce soap anymore. So anyway, there we go. So anyway, this is Thorzax. Be right back. Well, hey guys, we're back, and we just got done shutting the machine off. I'm letting the machine kind of, let it cool down. It's still got some lead in it. That's okay though. We want to keep lead in there, so the next time that we go ahead and use the shot maker, all we have to do is turn it on, and it'll melt down what's inside there. There's probably only a 1/4 inch. Once it gets down below the dribblers, you start seeing the dribblers starting to show through. That's time to go ahead and shut it down. But as you can see, this is today's production. It's been a pretty productive day. I think I've probably turned out maybe 130 pounds worth of shot. And this bigger stuff right here, this stuff right here, it's not going to go through the sieve. And I want to show you the sieve. Now I stepped up. I was using a baking pan, but I decided to go ahead and use this instead. And if you notice something, you take the shot, put it in there, shake it around, and the only thing that's in there now is the oblong pieces and the ones that have the little tails on them and stuff, and that's it. That's all you need to do. And then you just dump this out, you just dump it out into a collection thing. You just go ahead and melt it down. No big deal. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Just like that. Sieve it through, and then all the big pieces. Anything bigger than a number 8 size shot is not going to fit down through there. Okay, and there you go. See? Easy cheesy, man. Now this sieve was kind of expensive. I got this off of eBay for, I think it was 38 bucks, but I think it's worth it because it just does such a great job. It's the American Standard. It's American Standard Test Laboratory grade, so it does a great job. You just sieve it. That's it. Put it down through your sieve, and there's all the pieces that are oblong and ones that got tails on them and stuff. Yeah, you just get rid of them, dump them back into the pot, and you're ready to go. So anyway, that's what I got left to do. Is I got to go ahead and sieve all this and then dry it, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to graphite it and get that going. But that's pretty good stuff. I mean, once it goes through the sieve, there you go. So anyway, this is Thorzax. I think I'm going to come out with part 2 as far as, go ahead and graphiting it. I've got to make this stuff dry. My next door neighbor Dan over there, he's giving me a hand. He's making me another one of these screens, and you just set it up on your wheelbarrow like this, and you let it set out overnight, let it sit for a few days, toss it around, get it nice and dry, and then you go ahead and you graphite it. Now you could probably put this in an oven for a little while and let it do that, but I'm not going to stick lead in my oven. I think I'm pretty good there. It's about, I don't know, I started off maybe at 10 o'clock this morning, and now it's about 3 o'clock, so it's been a long day. But there you go. Here's some of the stuff that's already went through the sieve. That's all sieved out. it's all shot the same size. Okay, well, hey, this is Thorzax. I'll get this uploaded and get it on the YouTube, and give it up for you guys' enjoyment. All right, so this is Thorzax signing out. We'll come out with part 2 next.